Hello everybody, time for a new video about this straight razor shapes for beginners video. This is the part 2. In the first video we were talking about straight razors, and as I told you, the most important thing on a straight razor is the edge. Nothing else is actually not unimportant, but it has to be a good edge to get from a owner or some people that know the edges right. And I picked this one, Giesen Forsthoff 6/8 razor, rounded tip, hollow grind. And because it's hollow, I'm gonna explain to you why I picked this one, because you can actually get some feedback from that razor, so you know the angle and so on. And you have to have something to ladder up, so I took the best ladder I could make. No, I'm kidding. Nice, really nice scent in this. It's actually my own soap. The only thing you have to think about when you do your straight razor shapes, you have to have ladder. It doesn't have to be an artisan soap. It doesn't matter what you take. You can use a can soap. It works. So don't get it so. Keep it simple. That's the word I was trying to find. Keep everything simple. Some kind of ladder on your face, and BRUT as aftershave. I'm going to start add a ladder to my face. I have 3 days ago, just so we can hear these whiskers cutting. The ladder is not the most important thing. The most important thing is the edge, and then the technique, and then the ladder, in my opinion. Of course, there's a lot of other things you can put in that list, but in that order, in my opinion, if you get an artisan soap, you're going to get a great ladder, slick ladder with slickness and so on, so you don't have to worry about that. If you are a new beginner that don't have these fancy soaps and so on, you can use can ladder. It works because they are slick too, but in my opinion there's a different sound scent to these artisanal soaps, and I enjoy that. You don't have to use fancy brush. I have, of course, using my own from Strömberg design, my initials on the bottom with a Omega boar brush. But if you have watched some YouTube videos, I think it was half a year ago or something, people use painting pencils and build a ladder. So you can build a ladder with any brush. So you got to have ladder at least. You got ladder on your face. You got the straight razor that's sharp and works. Then the question is how to hold this razor. There is, in my opinion, nothing that's wrong or right. How to hold it? You can hold it like this. 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 It doesn't matter how you hold this razor, as long as you have control of the edge, where that edge is, and you know what it is doing, because you are the person that's moving that razor on your face. I usually start like this, holding that grip, because I'm starting to shave here, and when that's finished and so on, I'm going to hold it like this and do these parts. That upper part, second part, I do hold it like this, and I flip it like this, hold it like this. As I told you, there's nothing wrong or right. Just hold it so you have control of that edge, so you don't cut yourself. And I told you 2-3 things that's important in the straight razor shaving. One thing, the first thing in my opinion is, these two are equal as important. The angle on the razor and the pressure on the face. The angle should not be like this, 90 degrees. You have to keep it very, very small as you can. If it's too narrow, it will not cut, and when it starts to cut, then you get the angle. It's easier to see with a 6/8 razor or bigger razor how the angle opens up. If you have a small razor, it's difficult to see, but you can hear it if it's a wrong angle. And the pressure, you just have to barely touch the skin. Don't push the razor on the face, because then you're going to cut yourself. And never ever do these kind of motions. Always straight, aligned with that. Always straight, nothing like that. Don't try to do these strokes. They are guillotine strokes. They works, but if you're a beginner, remember these two things: the angle and no pressure. No pressure means that you have to put it on your face, but you don't push on the face. If you have no contact to your face, then you're just hovering over the face. And it should look like this. I will try to do it without cutting myself. Find that angle, try to see so you can see, and when you get that angle right, you just do a stroke like that. Easy, easy, easy. As you see, no pressure. If you get that angle wrong, you open up like this. Maybe you can hear it. You see, you start to skip and it doesn't cut. So you have to put the angle lower. And it cuts. These hollow grind razors. Oh, I forgot the paper, sorry. These hollow grind razors, there's plenty of them. They always sing, as I say. You got feedback from it, so you can hear if it's cutting or you're scraping the skin. So keep that angle. It doesn't matter where you are, if you're under here, your shin bone, whatever you call it. You have to keep that angle very, very low. As low as possible. Some people say keep it flat, just open it just that amount, not more. The width of your spine, that should be the angle to your face. Something to think about. Low angle, most important thing. And then a lot of people say you have to stretch. Depends on how your skin looks and how your skin is. If you are a younger guy with a taut skin and you just do it like that, it's enough. Keep that skin not overstretched, just taut a little bit. And I'm an older guy. I need to stretch. I don't do a lot of faces because my skin is curly, goes like this everywhere, is floppy and everything. So I have to stretch. So that's not absolutely 100% necessary, but the angles always have to be right and the pressure should always be right. So if I'm going to move on to next stroke here, I'm going to keep that angle very low. And then no pressure, just gliding through the face. And gentle strokes, like that. If everything works right, you're going to feel that you're cutting. I had 3 days of growth, it's almost done everything. Depends on where you are at the face. Now I'm going to the mustache area. You have to, on this part, you have to actually scoop a little bit. It looks like this. As soon as you start to shave, you have to scoop to get that angle right. And now you got that small angle like that. Same thing here. Small angle, no pressure. Small angle, no pressure. I can keep on saying that all the time. Find the angle, don't use pressure. You can maneuver your face, you can maneuver your razor, as long as you keep that low angle all the time. And think about the pressure, not push on the skin, because then you're gonna get irritated or get cut if you have bad luck. You see, I have to roll it over and trying to keep that small angle all the time. Same here, small angle. Oh, I can't show you, sorry. I should have a camera from that side. But low angle, no pressure. And then you got this tricky part over here. You have to stretch somehow or something and keep that low angle, and I always do smaller strokes there. And then keep that low angle. And how long should these strokes be? If you can do longer strokes, you're going to cover a bigger area. If you do small strokes like this, it doesn't matter. As long as you keeping that low angle and you get confident on doing those strokes. And you just keep on doing those strokes. As you can see, very low angle all the time. In my opinion, this is just my opinion, it's very important to get that low angle and no pressure. Now you can really feel that you're cutting those whiskers. After the first pass, if I have done everything right, I'm gonna do the second pass. If you are an absolutely beginner, do like this. Take that part with ladder, nothing else. And try to do this part first. I have to stretch, that's not necessary if you have taut skin, but if you're older like I, sometimes it's difficult to find that angle on the mirror. You have to move around so you can see where the razor is and where the edge is, and think about a small angle like there, something like that. And try to do just this stroke, nothing else, and the next stroke beside. And when that's done, keep on doing that small stroke like that. If you manage to do that without cutting, practice on that and that side. You don't have to do the whole face on your first straight razor shaves. When that feels confident, put the razor away, ladder up the rest of the face, and take your D razor or cartridge razor, whatever you want, and finish the shave. After a while, you're going to want to do more and more and more, and you're going to learn how to do these strokes. If you are a straight razor shaver, you maybe have heard, or if you're a beginner, people always talk about reading your face. It's important to get a nice shave. Talking about what way I'm gonna add just a little bit water. How the grow, how the face grows, or the whiskers grows, sorry, and adapt to that. So you go with the grains off, against the grain and across the grain and so on. I say keep it simple. Don't be so nerdy about that in the beginning. If you're already a wet shaver, you know how to do those strokes with the D razor. Think from the beginning with the straight razor, just from north to south and nothing else. I promise you, 90% of all our people that live in the earth have growth almost everything from the north to south, and some parts going like this, and don't concern about that. Just try to find that angle and the pressure right. And when you got that, you can, when you do the first pass, then go from south to north to keep it simple. And then if you want to get better shaves, you're gonna learn what spots doesn't get clean shaved, then do some other things. So second pass for me, straight up, low angle, no pressure, and cut those whiskers like that. Low pressure, no low angle, no pressure. Something like this. And when that's done, I do this part, and here I use these extra fancy guillotine strokes. Basic stroke is north to south, also south to north. When you can do these strokes with confidence, then you can try other things or strokes. That's not necessary, that's just bonus. I keep this little bit guillotine thing here. Don't mind if you're a beginner about this, it's how I do. Then I change to this side. And then I do this stroke from south to north. And I'm using the whole razor. I'm not using this tip or the heel, I'm using the whole razor. The thing is, don't use pressure, keep that angle low. I don't know how many times I can say that. And when that's finished, you find the pattern you want to go. I have my pattern, other people have other patterns, so it depends how you want to shave and a little bit how your face hair grows. North to south, lower angle, no pressure. A lot of people don't do these full pass as it calls. And it's not necessary. If you don't want to do that full pass, you can do this kind of pass from east to west or west to east. A lot of people do that. It works just as fine. So keep it simple, don't do any unnecessary strokes. Let's do this side first. And same thing here, low angle, no pressure, and nice small strokes. And people often talk about buffing. If I do these small strokes, if I'm a beginner, like this, I have to puff a little bit, so like this. People say that's buffing. No, that's not buffing. I'm taking small parts instead of a long stroke. It doesn't matter. Buffing is this. Four or 5 times over the same spot. That's buffing. This is not buffing. That is just doing small strokes. So remember that if you do small strokes, it looks like buffing, but it's not buffing if you don't go over the same part several times. And then I flip a razor. This is just how I hold. You can hold a razor like this, however you want. You can hold it like this. If you manage to do the shave, it doesn't matter how you hold the razor. Sorry, this is going to be a long video, but same here, low angle, no pressure. I have to stretch. You maybe don't have to. And then I do this little bit of guillotine stroke here. It's the bonus stroke. Don't worry about that. Always keep it simple. And no pressure. Small angle. Hold a straight razor. Steady in the hand in confident way. As you see, I have to stretch a low angle. I don't know if you can see it. I'll keep a very low angle all the time. So, if you ask me, is straight razor shaving difficult? No. If you ask me after 2 tries, I would say yes, because it's something you have to learn. You have to learn the strokes, you have to learn the technique, It's just something you have to build up. First time you ride a bicycle, it's really difficult. You don't know how to steer. You don't know how fast you have to use these pedals and keep the balance and so on. After a while, you just ride a bike. Same thing about swimming, driving a car. If I should explain to you how to drive a car with a stick, because I use a stick when I use almost every car I use is a stick, not automatic, with a stick. I think it's the right word. Okay, you keep the clutch down, right foot on the brakes, put the car in drive, gear 1, take away the right foot from the pedal, from brake pedal, and put it on the gas pedal, and then you're going to find that point where the clutch is going up, and you find that dragläge in Swedish, where the car starts to move, and you have to balance that thing with the gas and with the clutch. And when you finally gonna get moving, you release the clutch and gas a little bit, and then you have to change gear, put the clutch down with the left foot, raise the gas pedal from the foot from gas pedal, put it in the second gear, and you go like this, and you switching gears and so on. Very difficult to explain it, but when you have done that 500 million times when you're driving, you don't think about it. Just put it in the right gear and you just drive the car. And you have to have control of the road and everything and the signs, so everything works automatically. You don't think about it. The same thing about straight razor shaving. The first shaves is very difficult. Then after a while you're going to realize that, okay, that stroke works great, that stroke was great. No problem with those strokes, and suddenly you have managed to do the first pass with a straight razor shave with a straight razor, and you see I'm doing more than two things. I'm thinking, talking, and shaving at the same time. It's one thing too much, or almost two things too much. And it's going to get easier and easier. Give it at least 30, 40 tries before you throw that razor away. And if you like it like I do, because I love straight razor shaving, and this is extra bonus strokes, don't think about that. But people say you have to do this, you have to do that. Remember, it's your shave and you do it like you want, and there is no one that can say it's wrong or right. As long as you get away those whiskers and you think it feels great without nicks and cuts and so on, and you think it's great. If you get a small cut and you don't care, then you get a great shave. That's the most important thing. You have to be satisfied with your shave. These are the bonus strokes I'm talking about. You don't want to do my strokes, because my strokes doesn't work for you. Maybe some strokes, but you can't shave your face like I do, because you have to find your way to shave your face. There is a lot of straight razor shavers in the YouTube and everywhere, and everyone does it different, and that's it. You have to find your way yourself. So for me, the most important thing is to use the bonus strokes. You have to, and remember, this is only my opinion about this thing. I can talk about straight razor shave, different ways to do it, different ways, what I think about how to do stroke and so on. You can get very fancy about that and do a lot of nice things with a straight razor shaver, but you have to learn the basic stroke, in my opinion, is low angle, no pressure, and do a stroke from north to south. And if you can do it all over the face, great. Then you can start to do from south to north. And when that's great, I promise you, if you can manage to do that, and you have done up to 30 shaves, then you can start to figure out what more strokes do I need to do. I often did only 2 passes because I did not so often chase at BBS. This is almost BBS, just a little bit there, maybe just a little bit there. That's my travel spots. Some other people have travel spots here and there, different places. And that's something you have to figure out yourself. But if you can do those basic strokes from north to south and south to north, and then feel your face, okay, there's some spots that doesn't get cleaned. Why? It's because of my hair growth this way or that way or something. Then you have to do sideways across the grains, and that is something you have to figure out yourself. I have learned that I had trouble spots here. That's the way I go that way on these spots, and I have a trouble spots here. That's the way I go that and that way. As you can see, looks like I'm irritated there, but it's the alcohol. So 26 minutes, not my usual short videos. What can I say to make it very easy? I have said it 1,000 times. Straight dressers should be shave ready. It means it will have to be really sharp. You have to get from a owner or from some person that have a straight dresser knows that it's a great edge on it. That's very important. The most important thing on the razor is that edge. How it looks, it's another thing. It's your opinion what you think is beautiful and how it feels and how on your hand and so on. That's not important in that meaning, because edge is the most important thing. The second thing, as I told you today, is the technique. Low angle, don't have that. Try to keep it as low as possible. If you get a really low angle, you don't gonna cut. And if you, some people do, I have a good friend, red iron shaver, Justin, he always start like that, and then he rolls up that edge, and there it's going to be a cutting motion, and then it's going to keep on doing that stroke and keeping that angle. That's one way to find the angle. Very flat, no pressure at all. Don't use pressure, and don't do these kind of strokes. Do always from north to south or south to north, and keep that vertical all the time throughout the whole shave, and that would give you plenty of time to learn. And when you manage to do those basic things, low angle, no pressure, stretching is bonus if you can find some places to stretch. Some people don't have to stretch. I have to stretch. And the third thing is, then you can start to do different strokes, so you can learn. I need to take an extra, I have something hair here, some hairs goes like this, okay? Then you have to do maybe some strange strokes or something. And you're gonna learn. Some people can't do it because the straight razor is bigger than a D. A D you can maneuver much easier. So you have to try it and see what you like. I love straight razor shaving because it gives me pleasure every time to do it. I think it's really fun to use new straight razors, vintage straight razors, different sizes of straight razors and so on. But as long as it's a sharp edge, it works. I have tried small razors, 3/8, and I tried 6/8 razors. Both of them gives me a nice shave, as long as that edge is sharp. The thing, if the edge is not sharp, then you're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4 strokes, and you're gonna buff and use pressure because it doesn't cut. If it's a straight razor with a nice edge, sharp keyed edge, you're just gonna cut those whiskers like nothing. So it has to be sharp. That's the reason. On the next video, I'm going to talk a little bit about maintaining the razor, a little bit about stropping and so on. If you're interested, I think this was interesting, just comment if you want. If you don't have to, but please comment if you want. And remember, everything I say is my opinion, what I think is important. There's other people maybe think different. Listen to them too. It's not written in law or whatever, so written in stones or what you say, have to do like this. It's up to you how you do it. As long as you don't get cuts and weepers, then you're doing fine. Then you're doing great, and that's the most important. And have fun when you do it. Have fun. Try different soaps, different scents, and learn by the way. There is no hurry to learn this straight razor shave. It took me a good while to learn it, so please be patient. So next video is going to talk about maintaining and ups and what do you say, what's good and what's bad about straight razor shaving. There is some issues you maybe have to think about, and something could be a problem for some people, but not for others. So how to maintain a razor and how to keep that edge keen as long as possible. That's going to be on the next video. So sorry about this 30 minutes video. Couldn't have really nice shave in my opinion. It's because of the soap, and it's because of the brush, and it's because of the BRUT, not the razor and not me. No, of course I'm kidding. It's all about the razor and the technique. Not everything else about that is just bonus. If you get a nice smelling soap, it's much more funnier to do a shave, and if you got nice aftershave, it's funnier, much funnier to put that on the face, and everything feels great in my opinion. Okay, now it's enough mumbling. Have a great weekend. Tomorrow, actually Sunday, I'm going to work from early in the morning to midday at least. So, and on my other workplace they have issues finding a welder, so I have to go back and do some work. But that's my life. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend, and we shall see you next time whenever it is. Bye as well. Bye bye.